Ononolos olos hi hi sig sig ae utplul accident tenor. But what made him continued to break the pursue her passion for silencer, once grey again at success, 66. Something no one else had and dared now to she do has despite losing his officially sight for over 50 admitted what? Moved. An extraordinary career and the shock of turning 66. Over the past 3 decades, the name Andrea Bocelli has become a symbol of the seemingly impossible. With his sweet, soulful and powerful tenor voice, he has done something unprecedented, bringing classical music and opera to the masses, touching the hearts of millions of people around the world. From a blind country boy, he rose to become an artist who has sold more than 90 million records, won dozens of prestigious awards, and made his name in modern music history. The world was silent when he sang at the Vatican, in front of the Pope, then choked up when he performed at the Olympic opening ceremony or in front of the US President at the White House. And most touching was in 2022, when he sang at the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II, a solemn and breathtaking moment. It was Bocelli, who no longer had eyes to see, who helped the world see the sacredness and pure beauty of music. But Bocelli is not just an artist, he is a father, and that is clearly shown in the album A Family Christmas, released at the end of 2022. This is the first time that the 3 Bocelli, father and son Andrea, son Matteo, and little daughter Virginia, have recorded together. In the context of the world facing loss, separation and pandemic, the album is not simply music, but a whisper of hope, love and family connection. The pure melodies from Virginia's voice, mixed with the singing of her father and brother, have become a spiritual medicine for many people lost in the darkness. Then, at the age of 66, when everyone thought he would retire after a long and glorious journey, Andrea Bocelli suddenly announced a project that shocked the world. In an interview, he emotionally revealed his plan to establish a free music school for blind children, a place where children who cannot see light can still see their future through each note of music. This school is the brainchild of the Andrea Bocelli Foundation, ABF, a charity founded by him. This will be a place where blind children can learn music theory, use specialized music software for the blind, and interact with musical instruments by feeling the vibrations through their fingertips, just like the way Bocelli learned to play the piano in the dark as a child. The first school is expected to be built in Tuscany, Italy, his hometown, and in the future will expand globally as an independent educational model for the blind community. In a recent interview, he shared, "I never considered blindness a disability. It was just a condition, but if music gave me light, now I can share that light with others." And indeed, in that moment, the whole world fell silent, not because of a new song, but because of a heart that knew how to give. At 66, he no longer sang for himself. He sang for children who had never seen the light, and that voice once again broke the silence of the world. But what made him make such a decision? Perhaps because of empathy. Are you curious about the difficulties he overcame to become a world music legend? From a peaceful countryside to a painful childhood, Andrea Bocelli was born on September 22, 1958, in Lajatico, a small village in the heart of Tuscany, Italy. However, Andrea's childhood was not easy. He faced a challenge that no child would want: congenital glaucoma, an extremely rare disease that occurs in only about 1 in 10,000 children. From a very young age, Andrea had to live with anxiety about his eyes. The disease puts too much pressure on the structures of the eye and, if not treated promptly, can lead to blindness. Andrea's early years were spent traveling between hospitals, where he had to endure surgeries and frequent checkups. The Bocelli family, with love and perseverance, did everything they could to protect Andrea's vision. Every time they saw their son suffering from pain or failing in treatment, the hearts of the father and mother could not help but ache. But no one in the Bocelli family gave up. They always hoped that one day their son could see the light of the world, even though they knew that the success rate was extremely low. However, the physical pain could not compare to the mental fatigue that Andrea had to face. As her eyesight gradually became dimmer and the world around her became more and more blurred, Andrea had to learn to accept this pain and continue to live with resilience. Despite facing a terrible disease, Andrea never let it completely dominate her life. When Andrea was just 12 years old, an unforgettable event completely changed his life. During a soccer game with his friends, a strong kick sent the ball flying into Andrea's right eye, the only eye in which he could still see light. The impact caused a severe brain hemorrhage, causing Andrea to not only lose sight in his right eye, but also suffer from complete blindness. It was a great tragedy for a child when the whole world around him suddenly became an endless dark space. In his memoir, The Music of Silence, Andrea shared about that painful moment. "I was hit very hard in my right eye, the only eye in which I could still see light. Then total darkness enveloped me." Certainly, it was not just the physical loss, but the feeling of helplessness, pain, and despair that made Andrea face a completely different world. For a child, this loss is not only the loss of sight, but also the loss of faith in a bright future. However, despite being overwhelmed by tragedy, Andrea never let himself sink into despair. Instead of letting the darkness outside invade his soul, he found solace in music. Although he could no longer see the world around him, Andrea began to learn music in Braille, a special writing system for the blind. Music became a place for him to express all his emotions, a bridge between him and the world he could not see. Every note, every melody, he felt not only with his ears but also with his heart. Although he could no longer see the piano keys, music helped Andrea maintain faith in himself, in his ability to overcome all difficulties. Not only stopping at learning music, Andrea also decided to participate in other activities to prove that despite losing his eyesight, he could still live his life to the fullest. He continued to ride horses, cycle, and participate in sports, and did not let this loss limit him. This not only helped him develop physically, but also helped him build a strong spirit, always ready to face new challenges. Andrea Bocelli, in addition to his brilliant musical career, also has a warm and meaningful personal life. As one of the most famous and beloved artists in the world, Bocelli always keeps his family life simple, away from the noise and spotlight. However, he has shared many times that his family is the greatest source of encouragement and motivation in his life. Love and family. Andrea Bocelli married Veronica Berti for the second time in 2014 after a long time together and having a happy relationship. Veronica, a music producer and Bocelli's manager, has accompanied him in both his career and personal life. The two have a daughter together, Virginia Bocelli, born in 2012. Virginia's appearance is a great joy for Andrea Bocelli, because after many years, he has a little daughter to care for and educate. Virginia is not only an important part of the family, but also a special source of inspiration in Bocelli's later musical projects. In the album, A Family Christmas, released at the end of 2022, the Bocelli family recorded together. Virginia's clear voice blends perfectly with the singing of her father and brother Matteo, creating a musical work that is not only artistically beautiful, but also contains deep family affection. The songs on this album are considered a musical gift full of love, conveying a message about family ties and indispensable affection in life. In addition to his young daughter Virginia, Andrea Bocelli also has an older son, Matteo Bocelli, born in 1997 to his first wife, Enrica Senzatti. Matteo is currently pursuing a musical career, and like his father, he also possesses a wonderful voice. Matteo's career is gradually developing and gaining global recognition. Andrea and Matteo have performed together in many events and concerts, especially in recent music projects. The relationship between Andrea and his children is an inseparable artistic connection. He is not only a father, but also a teacher who inspires his children's passion for music. The bond between father and son in composing, recording, and performing is a testament to the love and deep understanding in their family. In addition to spending time with his family and career, Andrea Bocelli is also the founder of the Andrea Bocelli Foundation, ABF, a charity that supports blind children, helping children to have access to music and education. The ABF Foundation has implemented many educational projects for disadvantaged children, especially blind children. Bocelli shared that music is the light in his life, and now he wants to share that light with children who cannot see. He does not consider blindness as a disability, but as a medical condition that can be overcome with the right support. By sharing these values, he hopes that blind children can discover and develop their musical talents, even though they cannot see the world around them. Despite being famous as an artist, Andrea Bocelli always puts his family first. He is a loving father, a devoted teacher, and a trusted companion in every step of his children. He always says that family is the most important thing, an indispensable source of motivation in life. Certainly, with the help and support of his wife, Veronica, and children, Bocelli has been able to step forward firmly in his musical career and create unforgettable successes in the history of world music. Have you ever wondered how a blind man can inspire the world? See how he does it. The music of silence. Andrea Bocelli's life and career were inspired not only by his musical talent, but also by the trials and tribulations he endured. To tell his journey of overcoming his fate, Bocelli wrote the memoir, The Music of Silence, 1999, a work that bears a strong personal imprint. However, instead of simply retelling his own story, Bocelli chose to tell it through a fictional character, Amos Bardi. This is a character that reflects many aspects of Bocelli's life and soul, but is built as an imaginary image, with the same anxieties, passions, and hopes as his own life. This book is not only a journey of overcoming adversity, but also a strong message about determination, perseverance, and the will to live. With poetic and emotional writing, Bocelli recounts his life from childhood to adulthood, when he faced adversity in his eyes and his journey to find the light of music. The book has attracted a lot of attention from readers and has become an indispensable part of the lives of many music lovers. In 2017, this memoir was adapted into a movie, The Music of Silence, directed by Michael Radford. The movie is not only a vivid picture of Andrea Bocelli's journey, but also a way for the world to better understand his tireless efforts to become a music legend. In this movie, the character of Bocelli is played by actor Toby Sebastian, who tried to convey the true life and spirit of Bocelli. The film does not follow the path of tragedy and sorrow, but depicts a resilient, strong Bocelli who never surrenders to fate, but instead is a living inspiration for those who are facing difficulties in life. The film has succeeded in showing Bocelli's process of overcoming his disability without making the audience feel sad or heavy. Instead, it conveys a message of freedom, of mastering life, of the desire to reach new heights. One of the most memorable scenes is when Bocelli, in an emotional scene, rides a horse to his music. This scene is not simply a scene in the film, but it is a symbol of the free and strong spirit that Bocelli has maintained throughout his life, despite all the difficulties. Bocelli once shared in an interview, "I never considered my blindness as a disability. It is not something that defines me." This quote not only reflects his outlook on life, but also serves as a motto that helps him overcome the limitations that life has placed upon him. Bocelli does not let the loss of his sight make him feel inadequate or unhappy. Instead, he sees this deprivation as a challenge, a motivation to reach new heights in music, in spirit, and life. Bocelli's story, through the book and film, has become an inspirational message for all those who are looking for the strength to overcome adversity in life. And so he was able to touch the hearts of millions without seeing anything. Timeless courage and message. Andrea Bocelli is not just a singer, but the embodiment of an unwavering belief in the power of music and the human spirit. Although he cannot see the world around him, music has become his guiding light, and since then, he has inspired millions of people around the world. The absence of physical light has not prevented him from approaching the world in his way, through music, and that is the powerful message he wants to convey, not needing to see with the eyes, but feeling with the heart and soul. Bocelli once shared, "I see nothing with my eyes, but I see everything with my soul." This quote is not only a reflection of overcoming the lack of sight, but also a profound philosophy of life. For Bocelli, music is the way to help him connect with the world. Nothing can limit his ability when music can touch the deepest layers of the human soul. This makes him not only an artist, but also an icon of the ability to overcome adversity and find light in the darkness. Thanks to his experiences and resilient spirit, Bocelli has been recognized as a living wonder, a symphony of courage. Global audiences love him not only for his musical talent, but also for the way he faces life. Bocelli's performances are not just musical performances, but powerful messages about perseverance, courage, and the power of human will. Every time he sings, it is not just a sound, but also a belief in a world where all barriers can be overcome. Bocelli is also an inspiration to those facing difficulties in life, showing that even if you cannot see with your eyes, you can still see with your heart and soul. His stories are always told as a testament to never giving up, never letting challenges define your abilities. When others look at Bocelli, they do not just see a blind man, but a passionate and enthusiastic person, constantly reaching for the heights that life sets for him. What do you think about his decision to establish a free music school for blind children? Were empathy and compassion important factors in helping him overcome difficulties in life? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. We would love to hear from you. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more interesting updates. Thank you and see you in the next videos.